the minority yesterday, led by a spokesperson on agriculture, Dr. Akoto Efriye, or Dr. Owusu Efriye Akoto, said government was paying lip service to agriculture by implementing feeble, inappropriate, and he's been quoted here, and contradictory policies that had plagued the performance of the sector and ensure that the agricultural sector is not growing. Now, particularly, he was worried because he's a cocoa man, so he sometimes comes on the show and tells us he's a cocoa man.
Oh, yes.
He says that we're likely to miss our target for the current crop season because already we've not done too well the last couple of seasons. Just because we're not doing well, the distribution of fertilizer, the effective spraying of cocoa farms through the mass cocoa spraying exercise, and he feels if we lose touch with it, it means we could put into jeopardy our ability to be able to pay 2 billion, is it 2 billion cedis or $2 billion?
$2 billion.
$2 billion, okay. A syndicated loan by the is it Ghana Cocoa Board or the Cocoa Board, so to speak. And as a result of that, he's not too happy about it. Indeed, he says some cocoa farmers are also not happy about it. Let me start with you.
Well,
is it a worry for the minority? Serious worry?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think that I would want to go beyond and say that it is a minority situation. It is it must be a major worry for this country.
It should be a Ghana problem.
Yeah, because as of now, the single largest earner for governments of foreign exchange is cocoa. Oil is coming up, but it is only doing, particularly now today, the benchmark prices is about $38 for
Brent crude.
For Brent crude, I think that's what compares with our oil. $38. So there is a huge challenge. Maybe they'll call us back to review the budget. I don't know. But cocoa remains the backbone of our economy when it comes to foreign exchange earnings. And if you see the decline, if you see the way things are going, then it is very worrying. So it is not that it is a worry for minority. This must be real worrying times for government. This must be real worrying times for all of us as a nation. Okay. And what we are saying is that time was when we were doing 300,000 tons. 2001 crop season, I think it was 350. My position is that you must take deliberate steps in life. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing comes from nothing. So, for instance, I don't believe that a Big Bang theory, the world came up. No. Everything must follow something. And I think that between 2001 and 2008, there were clear indications that government laid out policy to ensure the target was that we will get to 2 million tons a year. At the time MPP under President Kufuor was exiting, we had come to probably 850,000 tons from 350. It is because every cocoa farmer there, whether he's in Kasape or he's in Subompai, will agree that there were things that were done for the cocoa farmer. Very simple things. Spraying. Because the challenge for cocoa is all the things that can come, whether it is a viral disease or it is insects. Number one. There was an attempt to change the cocoa trees because they were very, very good agronomic practices were put in. And we saw, ultimately, I think in 2010, we hit the 1 million mark. Subsequently, our view is that this government has played too much politics with the cocoa trade.
Why?
But cocoa, we believe that where you don't play politics with your major earner.
Where the politics comes from, where?
For instance, and for instance, when it comes to issues about cocoa spray, Today, where is it? Every day we are hearing that they gave the insecticide to some party people and they have smuggled it out.
Those are allegations someday.
I said, we are hearing. I chose my words advisedly. But you see, whether they are allegations or they are not allegations, they begin to reflect in the output.
Because the output have been poor.
The output is declining. Last year, the board targeted 900. We barely made 700. We had a shortfall of 200,000. I hear that we even forward sold. Today, the people that we sold to them are asking, where is the crop? Of course, we have paid our loans because I think that they only needed about 600,000 tons as collateral. If you sell 600,000 tons, well, you know, the point we are making is that we made 700. If we had made 900, there would have been a lot more money in this system, and probably the CD will not be declining at the rate it is declining. We hear again in the press, and nobody has come to deny it. The operation is, if we are going to use fertilizer or insecticide, it must have been tested over 3 seasons. We hear it has been reported in the press. And I am saying that somebody must come and say it is not true. We hear that the current administration of the board has decided that they will give the cocoa, they will give the contract for the supply of fertilizer and insecticide to a new company that has never done this before.
No experience.
And breached the standing procedure.
And since you organized the press conference, did you dare to find out whether the reports from the press were true? Or
oh yes, as far as we are concerned, it is true.
You've tried to.
And I'm saying that nobody has come to deny it. You do not play Jaskele with something that provides you your sure income. So we are saying, and it is not just us. If you read the projections from the cocoa traders and all of this, they are beginning to say that Ghana's crop is threatened. Already, we have a challenge with weather. Already, we have a challenge with weather. So if the ingredients that you must put in, you are not putting in, then you have a real challenge. Let's face it. Look, the people who know will tell you that you will need, I think, 10 bags per acre or hectare of cocoa. I mean, what we are providing now, it amounts to 1 bag per acre. We are not doing that which we must do.
So we need to.
If you go to Ivory Coast next door, the production per hectare is about twice what we are doing here. For me, these are the things we must be looking into. You know, the challenge I have is we have almost become complacent. The fact that we can borrow 2 billion and collateralize with 600,000 and pay is good enough. But nobody grows their business just able to pay their loans and find food to eat every day. I speak in proverbs.
Government is not taking the right steps.
Well,
the oversight management responsible for making sure that the daily administration of all these policies for the cocoa sector are also not being done right. The minority is a bit worried.
Well, I think that the cocoa sector is an important sector for all of us. And I think that anybody who would have assumed or would assume that government is not interested in developing the cocoa sector or improving yield, I think that the person possibly cannot be, espousing the proper position. Roland, you see, if we go back to history, and I'm happy that my brother and friend says that at a point we were doing about 300, 350, and that we went as high as 1 million, and possibly we are loitering around 700, 800, 900 now.
700.
What it is this, that like all farming seasons, like all crop seasons, there are years when the crop does well, there are years that the yields are low, irrespective of what you do. You have weather considerations, you have so many other things. So I find it very worrying when, because our crops do not do as much as we expect, then we all throw up our hands in arms and say that, hey, we are doing something wrong. I think that the cocoa sector has been run over a period of time, and it will continue to be run by the experts who know what they are supposed to be doing. As I speak, I think just 2 days ago, I read that 70 million seedlings were being distributed to, as it were, revive old farms and things like that. I have been trying to get a shed, is it shed or some shed people, Dr. Opon, I've been planning to go see him to come and revive the cocoa
in your area.
In my area. So I think that a lot is being done. Of course, there are saboteurs also in the system, and that's why I cringed a bit when my brother spoke about people being politics. And no, we shouldn't do that. If we went into that, we'll lose the fine points of the need to do that, because I know that as we speak,
but these are indeed worries of the farmers.
I am saying that why should it be? I mean, as we speak, there are people in court over who have been diverted fertilizer meant for cocoa farmers
and even like chemicals
and things like that, and some were arrested, unfortunately, during our brothers the MPP primaries, and some people are in the courts and things like that. Sometimes we are our own enemies. Sometimes when we sabotage the system, it makes it difficult for government to be able to achieve the things that.
Well, we understand that, but that's why there's leadership.
But I'm saying, listen,
that's why there's leadership.
I'm saying that.
And leadership is supposed to make sure that the right policies are implemented, yes, and there's proper supervision.
Please, Roland. A thief is a thief is a thief. The fact that somebody comes to steal doesn't mean that you are not supervising. The fact that people steal doesn't mean that there are no policemen. I'm saying that the only reason why we have policemen is because we know that in spite of all the checks we put in place, somebody might try stealing or doing something. So really that doesn't come into the picture. More importantly, Roland, I will also join the call that, I mean, as much as possible, if there is anything we are not doing that we can do to increase our yields, why not? I think that should be the clarion call of every Ghanaian. But I believe that from where we sit, looking at the way the coal sector operates, I think that government is putting in a lot. Yesterday, after Dr. Akuto Efree has spoken, the minister for, if you followed your own network, the deputy minister for crops, Dr. Alassane, he spoke. And he said he didn't know where my brother was getting, where the minority led by Dr. Akuto Efree was.
So they are lying?
Getting their figures from. He also gave other figures and gave an overview of what was happening in the industry. Like I said, I keep reading about interventions being done into the cocoa sector. Maybe, just maybe, a year or two, we will not get the full benefits of what we are doing. Maybe next year we could hit 1.5 million, who knows? So, like I said, I have done I'm not a farmer, but occasionally you also try your hands as farmers. And it's not always that you get your crops the way you want them. I mean, mango this year hasn't done well because it rained at the wrong time. So when they had flowered, it rained, the flowers fell off.
Mango?
Oh no, I have a lot of I have about close to about 800 acres of mango in my constituency. So okay. I interact with the mango farmers. Right. There are that garden eggs, the same thing. You see that the garden eggs, a lot of it comes from my constituency.
The horticultural.
Yes, and things like that. So really, let's not just say that it's because of government, like lack of government commitment to developing the cocoa industry. Why? Where you take your largest salary, is that not where you pay more attention? So indeed, yes. Even now that oil is doing as he says, we are not too sure about
the thing about cocoa. For example,
must continue to do
we recorded a little 1 million metric tons of cocoa in 2010, but it's also because of the systematic policies that were taken by the Kufuor administration.
I think so.
Okay, and also coincided with we had difficulties in Cote d'Ivoire, but also because we had systematic efforts that were made. Look, we have a cocoa board. Yes, we have a due body that is supposed to do the supervision and implement the policy. But it really is a policy issue. If you do the right if you do the right things, you get the right.
No, Roland. Let me get before he comes in, Roland. You see, that goes to strengthen my point. If indeed what we are saying is true, and that is because of policies that were taken during the Kufuor's time.
Well, which is true.
That's why we were able to hit as high as 1 million.
And indeed, before
I'm saying,
preceding those years, we were even getting better.
Listen,
way from 2006.
All I'm saying is that it just goes to strengthen the point that whatever you put in place does not reflect immediately. You understand?
George, that's a good excuse.
Yes, it does not reflect immediately.
That's
so a
good
lot
excuse.
of things have been done.
You're a good communicator, so I think that helps. You too. So you should be satisfied. Government says it's putting in place all this, borrows enough to make sure it's strengthening the sector. Should be reflecting, well, I guess the next year
borrows to do what? We are borrowing to purchase. The other ancillary things, I think we must begin to look at the figures. We are borrowing to purchase, number one. Number two, we are borrowing to buy the chemicals. We are borrowing to buy the fertilizer. Today,
we are borrowing to make the farms reachable and motorable.
The lead project is
the beans can come out.
So-called cocoa roads. Okay. Yeah. We are borrowing to do cocoa roads. Yes. Okay. But what is important is that we probably need to look at the variables and compare. We think that there are missed priorities and all of that. But I even want to go away from probably just cocoa and speak generally about agriculture. One, I don't know what the minister said yesterday. I didn't listen to him, but very clearly, we are suffering a huge crisis. It might be comfortable just to attribute to the weather and all of this. Out of God, nobody can do anything about it. But we completely disagree. We think that enough investment is not going into agriculture. God has been kind to us. In the last 4 years, we have earned over $4 billion from petrol export that we never did. We need to find out. There is something they call the ABFA, annual budget funding amount. We need to find out how much of it are we putting in agriculture. For me, I cringe because our colleagues, our friends in Nigeria did the same thing. When we were in primary school, we used to talk about groundnuts in northern Nigeria. We used to talk about cocoa. We were neck to neck with Nigeria.
They also
palm
grow a lot
oil.
Of cocoa, yeah.
Okay. But today, all of those industries have flown away from Nigeria.
Just because of oil.
Because of oil. A so-called Dutch disease. Okay. And it appears to me, my worry as a Ghanaian, before I'm a politician, is that we don't seem to be learning from the mistakes of some of the people who have done these things. I am saying that take the annual budget founding amounts, find out all the money we have made from oil in the last 4 years. How much have we put back into Agric? And then my opening statement was that nothing comes from nothing. You must take clear, dedicated, focused steps to be able to achieve something out of anything. Okay. And I think we are not doing this. And all of it shows in the indices.
Do you think government is being too defensive on some of these things because it's being pointed out by the opposition?
Well, probably that is what politics is about. They must defend even if they know it is wrong, and the matter speaks for itself.
Mm. Well, I mean, for me, from where I sit, I'm not a farmer. I'm not an expert in agriculture. But from what the minister said yesterday, the minister was very emphatic. He said, look, for every crop, I think there's only one crop that he said, I think rice, that he said because of a few things, we are still doing some import. But every crop, other crop, we have grown more than what we need to eat. And you know that yesterday, go and check, we had actually jammed Nigeria in terms of yam exports.
Really?
Yes, it's in yesterday.
You still see the onion imports from
so,
Burkina Faso.
So I am saying that.
Where have we outgrown what we have to?
Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm giving you
the tracks will be there right now. You take the cameras and you see them.
I'm giving you statistics from what the Minister for Agric or Deputy Minister for Agric in charge of crops has said. I am not an expert in agriculture, but I'm saying that if those statistics, which I'm inclined to believe, is anything to go by, the situation is not as dire as we are putting out.
Today,
the government is doing
your opening nominations, George. Are you picking a form?
Well, I'm here. I may instruct that a form is picked for me.
Is it only for today or for how many days?
No. I think that our nomination closes on the 10th of September. Okay. So we have quite a bit of time to do it.
Anybody contesting you know?
Well, they've opened nominations. So those who are willing to contest will go to the party office and buy the nomination forms.
And
at the end of the nominations, when it closes, it is then that you know the number of people who want to.
I love your new initiative, though. You have expanded the Electoral College, so that's good. George Lowe is a member of Parliament for North Dying.
Are you not allowing me?
Oh, conclusion, no. My time is up. Sorry. Ayawaso West Wogon, member of Parliament, is here, former chief executive of the FDA. One of his biggest audiences or constituencies within his constituency is the University of Ghana, Lagos. And thanks for joining me, sir.
I thought you would allow me to say one or two things.
Oh, my time is up.